What is going on, guys? Newton here with MMO Play, bringing your first look and impressions video into City Skylines, a free-to-play online builder or city building simulation game. So, if you guys are familiar with SimCity or very other variations of the SimCity games, they've been quite popular. This game is basically similar to it, but it kind of took the recent SimCity 4, or I believe it was 4, and kind of did it right. It made it a little bit more simplistic, a lot less problems and online connectivity issues, and overall, I gotta say this game has been pretty solid, and I've had quite a lot of fun. Already sinking quite a few hours into this game already. This is one I'm very excited about, and I guess we'll go ahead and hop right into it. But before we do it, as you can see here, this game is heavily supported by the Steam Workshop. So if you guys pick up this game, it's not just what the game has to offer. There's tons of mods and player-created features for the game that really give it kind of new life consistently and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and hit continue game, and I'll kind of show you the city and explain the game for you based off what I've done. I figure a good way to show off this game is to kind of have a pretty good sized city and kind of show the different things you can do with it as opposed to building a city from scratch. I think it was pretty good that I show you the city that I've worked on so far. And like I said, I've invested quite a few hours into this game already, and I'm having an absolute blast with it. Alright, so as you can see here, this is my city. I'll zoom out a little bit, and you can see how I kind of have it structured a little bit. I kind of got a little bit creative with it. As you can see, I got my highways looking all crazy, but they work. I mean, that's the biggest thing about the city. You can kind of make crazy layouts and other stuff like that, but as long as it works and the citizens are happy, it doesn't matter how you do it. So let's go over different features of the game. Now, there's a lot you can do. So before you start building a city, you got to make sure it has proper water. As you can see here, I have water lines from fresh water sources over here, and sewage disposal into the river over here. And you kind of got to lay it out so that way the whole city is covered. And every house, residential, and industry section has proper waste removal and fresh water. So there's a lot of things you got to think out before creating these cities, and a lot of things you got to have already planned out and covered before you can expand a lot more. So as you can see, I have a pretty good coverage for my city overall, or where I have expanded quite a bit. So I'm not really worried too much on sewers backing up or my citizens getting fresh water and other stuff like that. Let's see. Next thing you got to do is you got to cover garbage. So it's basically just like running a real city. You got to cover all these different things and other things that your citizens might want. So you can see here I have a waste treatment plant over here. Not a treatment plant, it more like it burns the garbage and stuff like that. So it kind of a more greener way to get rid of the trash in your city. And there's tons of different things. So you can see I have landfills over here. I'll zoom in a little bit. So you can see I have landfills and they're filling up a little bit, and that's all right. But I mean, once they fill up, you cannot empty them, which I've noticed. I've had it's kind of a problem. So you don't want them getting filled up near your residential area because it'll create lots of pollution and other stuff like that. So that's why utilizing these plants over here to burn lots of the garbage is a good way to keep your city a little bit more green and your citizens not sick. Because if they're near pollution, they get sick. You have to put down more hospitals and other things like that. And it, depending on what you do, will ramp up your monthly or weekly costs for your city. And it's a bunch of things you got to consider. But I mean, it's fun. It's not that hard to figure out once you really get into it. It only took me about maybe 3 or 4 like kind of trial and error cities to finally get this one going, working pretty well. So as you can see here, we have little tweets over here. So this is a cool little feature for the game. Let's go ahead and get out of our overview for garbage removal. As you can see, we got a little bird. It's kind of an imitation Twitter sort of thing. And it's a nice little feature for the game that gives you live updates of what your citizens kind of want or how they're feeling, different needs and other stuff like that. So as you can see, our last tweet here was, "What a great city. I would think I'm dreaming if I didn't know otherwise." So as you can see, my city's looking pretty good. It's pretty solid. Lots of requirements and needs are met with my citizens. Everyone's relatively happy. And like I said, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but I mean, it's a lot of fun just learning the game from scratch. And then once you get a city and you get schematics and you really get a build going and something that works, you get really excited, and it's awesome to see your city grow. So let's go over other features we have in the game. Now this game does have quite a bit, and I can probably go on for quite a while, and by no means is my city the biggest. There are much bigger, but I mean, my city does have about 35,000 citizens, and it's a decent size. It's a pretty good size to show off. I gotta say, within maybe about the 40 hours I've put into the game so far, it's some pretty good progress and growth, I feel. So let's go over the other features we have. So we have healthcare over here. So these are the different hospitals I was talking about. You're going to want to disperse them around your city, and as you can see, lots of the houses here are blue, which indicates lots of people are have lots of easy access for whenever they're sick and other stuff like that. So blue, or the more blue your houses are, the better. So as you can see, these guys here, they seem a little bit sick. I probably have to place a little bit more down, but I mean, overall, I'm not too in trouble there. So next we have the fire department. So another very important issue is keeping industry areas over here, and this is my educational district over here, fire safe. So as you can see, this is not very accessible to a fire department. So let's go ahead and pick a fire station, and let's place one down, maybe over, where should we put it? Yeah, I think it fits just nicely right here. So we place that down. They all become light blue. We have tons of happy citizens, and that's all it takes. So we just put down that the fire station. Ooh, I accidentally clicked and put down another fire station over here. So we can go ahead and bulldoze that. We don't need it. Yeah, it makes a lot of citizens not very happy, but overall it is still it's light blue. So these citizens are good. We could probably get away with putting maybe we'll put another big one over here, so the fire or my work industry doesn't completely burn to the ground, which would probably be a good idea. So let's go ahead and put one on the corner of the road over here, which gives it a lot more accessibility. And these guys become kind of like a light green, which is alright, not too bad. We could live with that. We won't have encountered too much trouble. So let's go ahead and continue with the police department. So every city will have crime, but crime is something that's very easy to keep low or maintain in this game. With the very few police stations that I have, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's pretty much kept my whole city extremely happy, and I haven't had too many problems other than maybe my shopping districts being robbed, which is pretty funny. I mean, it shows a little icon of people robbing stores, robbing houses, robbing schools. I don't know, it's pretty funny to look at, but overall crime rate is at 7%, relatively low, no problems, no citizens are complaining, so not too bad. Next we have education. So this is a really big factor to the game. Lots of things you kind of got to get education placement down, because the more residential areas you have, the more people you'll have. But then the more people you have, the more the demand of shopping districts or work districts your citizens will want. And as you can see down over here, there's a high demand for offices or places to work. So our citizens need work. But your citizens can't, not all the citizens can work if they're not educated. So it's kind of like a good balance you got to find between offices and schools and stuff like that. So you see we have elementary schools, we have high schools, and I have 3 colleges over here. So I mean, you definitely got to get placement down and get it balanced. As you can see, I'm having some trouble over here, but I mean, playing around with it and getting something that works is all fun in building your city and playing with the game. So we have a few other features we can go over, such as transport. I haven't played around with transport too much. My citizens haven't really found a need for it or requested a need for it, so it's kind of cool. You can add it to the game, but there hasn't been so much a need up to this point for it. So, alright, next we have decoration. Decoration is pretty big. As you can see here, we have tons of different parks and little playgrounds we've placed around our cities. They don't cover a wide area. As you can see here, there's a little green circle, and it covers only so much, but I mean, you do need quite a bit to keep your citizens fairly happy. So these guys not looking too happy. This is where all my citizens do most of their work. It's a lot of office buildings, so they can't be too happy, right? So let's go ahead and select a park, a good sized park, and place one down, maybe over here, and let's see if this helps them out a little bit. And it makes them relatively happy, but I mean, as you can see, it does take quite a bit to really get them in the light blue over here and very happy, as you can see. So I mean, more problems you got to play around with and kind of figure out what makes your citizen happy and what layouts and other things work. But like I said, that's all fun in the game is figuring out what works, what doesn't work, and finding creative solutions to solve problems that come up in your city. Last two options here is unique buildings, such as large shopping centers and statues, other stuff like that. We have large city monuments, which I have yet to unlock, but I mean they're there if you do want them. So as you can see here, we have an expo center. Expo center, I have put one down already. As you can see, oh, maybe we haven't. What did I put down? Let's go ahead and check. I think we put down a stadium, as you can see over here, but I mean there are other options as an expo center over here, so we can probably place one down. And the expo center does cover a little bit larger area of happiness, so I think that'd be a good job or a good way to make our citizens in the office buildings a little bit more happy. And then last we have monuments, but we have not unlocked that yet because we do need a population of 80,000, which would take a little bit more investment of my city. But I mean, generally everything comes as your city grows. There's no ridiculous achievements or goals you have to acquire to unlock everything. It's basically it all comes with the slow growth of your city, and you utilize it and implement it into your cities over time. But I mean, overall, this game is a ton of fun. If you're a fan of SimCity or other games like this is a very, very solid game, and this is one I would highly recommend you guys to check out. If you've never played a city simulator game like I have prior to this game makes it extremely nice, simple, and straightforward to get into. And really, once you find, like I said, once you find a city and you find out a way that really gets things going and works, it really sucks you in and gets you wanted to keep building more and more and more. And as you can see, for the 40 hours I've put in about, a solid couple days of just building a city. It's a lot of fun, and I mean, the more you build, it just makes you want to keep building more and more and more. And eventually, your city will get extremely big, you'll have a huge population, and you'll be good at solving problems in creative ways. And I mean, the bigger your city get, you'd probably think it gets a little bit harder and harder as it grows on. But I mean, once you figure out solutions and ways to keep your citizens happy, they generally stay pretty happy in their zones, and there's not much you have to come back and fix. So overall, this game is great. It's a lot of fun. It's user friendly and very, very easy to get into if you're new to the genre of game. And it's one game that I'd highly recommend. It is not a free-to-play game. It does require a $30 payment on Steam, and I believe it is only available on Steam. So if you guys are interested in the game, it will cost you a couple bucks. Maybe you can catch it on sale. But if it's a game you're looking for, something new, something to try, this is one I definitely recommend to you guys. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, I'll talk to you later.